Hello everyone, today we're working on this lifelike F7 and it's in pretty good shape. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is remove this glue here. I'm going to remove this tag so we can see the label. So I do that, I just use my car wax and a couple of old rags. Car wax is designed to clean and shine up things, so it's really good for doing that stuff. So this one is a Bev Bell F7 lettered for Erie Lackawana. So I've got all the box, everything's in really good shape actually. I remember buying one of these in the 90s and it was very cheap, and it ran good for me right out of the box. There's a little bit of dirt there. I'm gonna take that out. I do not like this. So anyways, it looks to be in very good shape. Can't complain about that. These, maybe you like them, maybe you don't. You're entitled to your opinion. I like them. I like the way they run, and it's a super cheap engine. It's still a cheap engine you can get on eBay. So it looks good enough. I'm actually tempted to go try it on the track. Let's go do that. Let's see what it's like. So that has been sitting for quite a while. Let's see what happens when I put power to it. Oh no. It's gonna run. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Well, it's gonna be a short video. I'm just gonna shake it down for just a little bit, just to see what happens. That is amazing. Well, it's running, but it's not running the way I like. It's drawing a little bit too much current, so I'm going to just re-lubricate it. But dang, this is amazing. I didn't expect that. I've also got this Western Pacific unit. It's going to go through the same process. And I've got a parts unit. What I'm hoping to do is I have another Erie Lackawana F7 that I want to speed match. So we'll be doing that today. I'm going to take whichever drive is the closest to my my other Erie Lackawana, and I'll put the two together, and then I'll have a nice Western Pacific unit running at the end of the day. And I'll also have this parts unit, which may come in handy because I've got a BL2 that I bought that really doesn't run. So I'm happy to have at least a parts unit for that. So the shell removal on these is pretty easy. You just pry on the two tabs on the side of the fuel tank, and it'll just release the cab, and that's that. Easy breezy. And then the two weights come off, and you've got your, that we'll work on that later. You've got your engine exposed, and that light, for some reason it just wasn't long enough, the two wires for the light. So as I work on this, I'll figure this out. But yeah, this unit ran well. Very surprised. Well, because it runs so good, obviously everything was there where it was supposed to be. The light didn't shine very bright though. It should stick out more a little bit on this way. But I'm not going to pull hard on the wires. They just made it for some reason a little short. It's supposed to come out like this one, come way out to the front. That's what you should be seeing. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything about that. That's not super important for me. Anyways, the most effort I'm going to put is on the wheels and the trucks. So to release those, you need your little screwdriver. Get the little screwdriver you have and just push this axle. This axle will come right out. And that's what it looks like. And then you cannot pull the trucks off because they're welded in there. They're soldered in there. But you get just enough slack to pry the side frames out. And then the side frames, you just gotta shimmy them over the wheels. And once you got them over the wheels, you can slide them over, and that's it. You have access to your wheels to clean them. It looks like this thing has never been ran before, which is quite a bit of a shame because I have a lot of fun running these. Although, I'll be honest with you, usually I just fix them and put them on the shelf. And then, get your other screwdriver. And we'll just pry on the wheels a little bit on each side to loosen them up. And then we'll clean them. Just like that. Yeah, new old stock is what I would call this. Just pry them a little bit at a time like that. And same for the other side. Just go one side and then the other side of the axle and have them come out. Then once they're out, we'll go ahead and clean them. There, that wasn't so hard. There's maybe a little bit of dirt on there, on the contact strips. I just cleaned them out with my fingers. There's a little bit of dirt on there, but nothing to write home about. Actually, plenty of lubrication. That is not the issue here. And then once you get, oh, look at that. I see some wear on the inside, so it has been run maybe a little bit. Which honestly, it's a good thing. I'm glad the previous owner enjoyed it. I know I sure am. I can feel it on my fingers. There's a lot of lubrication on this already. So I just cleaned them with my nails like that. Just like so. I got 4 more to go. And then I'll take a peek inside the gearbox here. I saw a little bit of dirt, but not too bad. It's not too bad. So everything here looks good. I'm not going to go nuts changing things around. Everything here looks good. So I can't complain. Everything in here looks good. So I'm going to put it back together quickly here. I would put some more lubrication in there, but really, this is fine. Doesn't need any more. I've got my micro trains coupler height gauge ready. And that's going to go with, as I tighten these together, I'm going to make sure that they are in perfect gauge. At this point, it only takes a second. So definitely it's the right time to do it. So you could probably tell by hand or just by eyeballing it that they are pretty close to where they want to be. Actually, that looks right on the money. I'm not changing that. And then this one here, yeah, it also looks good, so I'm not changing that. So I'm gonna put the side frames back up on there. I have put these up backwards. I sure did. I put them up like that. So just be mindful of that as you work on your engine. You have to wiggle that around the wheels and around the frame. These are wired in just like in the 1950s. Although, if you're into DCC, that can be an advantage. Here, let me show you why. You see all these wires leading from the trucks? They're already color coded for you. So basically, you just have to put your decoder between the track and the motor. So it's already wired for you. You just have to put the red and the black on here, and then the orange and the gray to the motor, and that's it. Your DCC. And then this little gear here, don't forget about this. This is the gear that goes on your little shaft. So I'm gonna take some time to re-clean that. Nothing crazy. I'm just gonna remove the excess grease on here, that's all. So that little gear will just go in there, and it will turn the gears that turn the wheels. And then I'm gonna put something white on my background. You can see if it doesn't line up perfectly, you can use the wheels to line it up. I've done that a million times. And then the little shaft, I am gonna lubricate it, that one. I'm lubricating this with my a little bit better oil. Label 108 is what I use. There, and then I will put 2 drops on these top bearings here. Just to say that I did something. And then turn it with my finger. Actually, I'll turn it with my power pack. That sounds a lot easier. Look at that, it's such a sweetie. Already it's running on the second step of my power pack. That is excellent. I'm going to do the same thing to the bearing in the back here. Just 1 drop is all you need. Beautiful. For the back there, I'm feeling a little lazy, so I just clean the wheels where they are. Since everything's pretty clean and pretty nice, I'm gonna just clean the wheels like that, then move the motor with my finger, a quarter turn, and then I'll do the other bits that haven't been cleaned yet. So I'll be doing that until it's perfect. If you want to help me to make more videos, go on my website, watchtrainsnow.com, and take a look. Go click on a couple of pages. It builds up traffic so I can get monetized by AdSense. It's easy. Turns out it's easy to get 1,000 subs. But in order to make money, you have to have a website. And that, I found out, wasn't that easy. You know, they tell you, oh, go on GoDaddy, get a website. But no, you actually have to work on it. It's actually a little bit of work, but if you go and take a look, click on a couple of pages, it really does help me out. And there's stuff for sale there. If you like anything, it's available. These, I won't put them up for sale because they don't have that much market value. I'm gonna put the weight back up. Now the wires have to go around this little leg here. You have to go around this little leg. That's their path, so they don't interfere with the drive shaft. So as you put it back together, you make sure that these are at their correct spot. Same with this thing. Oh, I forgot, there's two little doors that go on there. Yeah, we'll put those two little doors on it. I guess they weren't held in there very tight, but I will put them back. I think it could have ran without it though, but I remembered at just the right time. So that's good. That's the way it should be. Same with that one. Let's go up and over. Easy breezy, Japanesey. I do prefer things made in Japan, although this one's clearly made in China. So these, yeah, I don't put them for sale on my website because they're very inexpensive. You can still get them cheap on eBay. It's up to you whether you like them or not. These are not the absolute best quality, but I think they're fun, so I get them. I have some Canadian Pacific ones, which are pretty rare. I guess people hang on to them. And the Erie Lackawana, I've got two. Actually, you know, this shell, since I have it off, I think I'm gonna wash it, but it's not dirty. I'll tell you, the main flaw I see with these is the shape of the window. The shape of the windows just isn't quite right. But I'll tell you that Bev Bell paint scheme, although the shell isn't perfect, the paint scheme, it makes the grade. This paint job sure is nice. So I am gonna wash this since I have it in my hands. So while my shell dries out, I'm gonna go on my track just to see how this thing runs. I mean, you know, it all depends on what your expectations are. It won't be putting Cato or Atlas out of business, but for what I expected, it's running great, even at slow speed. That is all I need. Since I am doing speed matching today, I'm gonna run them both together. This is my other Erie Lackawana F7, so these should be running together. So the new one's a little bit faster. Ah, maybe not. At any rate, I'm gonna put the faster one in front. They seem to be pretty even. My old one, it runs just a tinge faster, but this is within acceptable limits. So I will just put the faster unit up front, but that is going to make a very nice team. Well, instead of having a really short video, I'm going to do this other Western Pacific, which is also, it's really neat. So the same way to remove the shell, you can pull on these a little bit, and you have the same thing inside. Now this one, I am going to check that all the wires are in there at their proper place. You see the light bulb's a little bit further. Checking for the wiring. Oh, I think this one's out. See, when that happens, when the wire is disconnected like that, it has poor pickup. And that is not easy to repair. But I will do it for you guys, for your entertainment. And actually for me too, because I want to have this engine. The Western Pacific paint, also it's kind of a neat little engine. That's quite a bit dusty though. So I'm gonna clean this up with my toothbrush. But it's still really neat, really worth saving, I think. So I'll start by washing this. So that seems to be an attempt at weathering that didn't go too well. Same with the top of the cooling grill here. So that I'm just gonna leave it like that. This is okay. Also, I noticed one of the horns is missing. So that too, considering the value of this, it's okay to just leave it like that and enjoy it like that. Naturally, it didn't do well at the auction. So let's solder this together. First, we're gonna do that process where I clean the wheels out and lubricate everything. But other than the wire being disconnected, it doesn't look too bad. So do the same thing. You have to shimmy the side frames over. Shimmy the side frames over the wheels. And the wheels actually look okay. They don't look too bad. So that's really good news. So I'm gonna start by removing the wheels. I am saving up for my Cado Big Boy. That I'm gonna buy around Christmas time. I've got 2 engines to sell just before Christmas. And once I sold that, I should have enough money to get my big boy. The 2 engines I'm gonna have for sale is that GS4 from last video. That's gonna be one, and that it's already on my website if you want to buy it. But if it doesn't sell on my website, I'm gonna put it up on eBay for 99 cents and 99 cents auction. So that's gonna sell there for sure. That's what I do. A lot of the stuff, you know, sometimes you're not sure what your things are worth. You put them on auction for 99 cents. That will tell you right away what your items are worth. And then people decide if they want to bid on it or not. So that does not look too dirty. So I'm not going to be spending too much time on that. Then I've got my little contact strip. And that we can get set up to solder that together. I really should break down and get maybe a little bit better soldering iron. The trick to this is getting enough heat. If you can get enough heat, you can have a really good solder. There, I don't want it to be too big. That seems to be good. And then you just slip it back in its place. Now I'm going to clean my wheels like I always do. That's the best method. These were quite a bit more dirty than the other one. They put a little bit of paint while putting the silver on the trucks. They put a little bit of paint on the wheels, which is interesting, kind of different. I've seen real railroads do that. There's a nice video, Santa Fe Odyssey by Green Frog, where you can see the Santa Fe F7s had a little bit of paint on the wheels. It looks out of place, but it's prototypical. So there you go, there's a prototype for everything. Then I'm gonna find the dirtiest, the two wheels with the more paint. I'm gonna put it on the side that I see all the time. Like that's one, and that's one. This paint here though, I can't leave that there. I have to remove it somehow, because I really do want this part of the wheel to contact the strip so the engine can get power. So I think it's going to be good like that. So I'm going to put it so that I can see it. And then this one, does this one have a little bit of paint too? Yeah, I'm going to put that on that side so I can see it. And then check the gauge again. Since I have it in my hands, this is good and this is good. Actually, they fall right into place, so that's what you want. Then I'm gonna clean the side frames. And then I put my newly cleaned side frames in their proper spot. Actually, I should start with the back. So I put the newly cleaned side frames right in their spot. takes a minute, but it's not super hard. There, the front's in, and then the back's gonna come in. And then super duper, I'm gonna put just a little bit of lubrication in there, just to say I did something. So just one drop, that's all you need. This should stick out on each side, but not a lot. It should just barely stick out. And then once it's in, it won't move, so you can take your time to do a good job, and that will be good. So these, they twist them a little bit at the factory so that they stay in their proper spot. Just twist them just a little bit like that, just so they're at the proper spot and they're out of the way. And that would be good. I'm gonna run it on the bench a little bit, and I'll put a little bit of lubrication while I'm doing that. I didn't put my soldering stuff too far away. So doing it like that, upside down, the engine will draw in. It will draw in the lubrication by gravity, and also capillarity a little bit. So I'll just run it like that for 2 minutes. When you feel lazy, you can also clean your wheels like that, just using a little toothpick. And I will pick up the dirt from the wheel like so. But you can do that only when you're feeling lazy. Because if you want to do it right, you have to take it apart. I'm also going to put 2 drops on the top here. And that, you want to be gentle with that. You don't want to damage it too much. Now do the same thing in the front. Same as before, make sure your 2 wires fall in their little pathway here. That way they don't interfere with the shell. Now this red one on this side, I messed with it a little bit. So I'm just putting the light bulb through where it should rest. So this one I messed with it a little bit. It's very normal that it's not in the right place. So that's what I'm working on right now. And making sure it's at the correct spot. So this one too, it shouldn't interfere with the shell. Should be tucked away inside. And these two black ones, they fell right into place. That's good. Let's go try it on the track. Let's just make sure everything's good. So what I'll do, I'll run it around the track for about 2 minutes, just to allow it to shake down. And then I can run it slow. So when you think about it, it can crawl, it can go at a pretty good speed, and it's pretty quiet. So that runs good from my point of view. So we can put the shell back on now. A real sweetie. And then this is my parts unit. I did basically the same process to it, and now it's running great. That'll be ready for another type of repair. So that's my parts unit. Finally got it to run good. All that's left to do is to put the two shells back on. And I'll do the same with the Erie Lackawana. That one really does feel like new old stock. I always check that the wires don't interfere with the shell. So you have to pass through the front coupler, through the pilot. That's not too hard. And then that's it. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.